Good afternoon. It is about 2:15 on Thursday. Anybody watching? How you doing? How you been? It's my day off today, and I've been kind of feeling like crap since yesterday, so it worked out well. I am going to run and grab a coffee, and I'm kind of in the middle of doing laundry and folding towels. Taking it a little easier today because I feel like crap, so there it is. So yeah, I thought we'd just go grab a coffee and chew the fat for a moment, and then I will come back and finish folding and doing laundry. And I have a great big thing of ground beef thawing in the sink right now. I thought I would do up a meatloaf tonight and then use the other half probably in a spaghetti sauce or something tomorrow. Monkey and Boo Boo won't be too happy about the meatloaf thing, but that's too bad. Big Daddy will be very happy. And he'll do the leftover thing too. My kids have this thing against leftovers. I don't know who they think raised them. But we do leftovers at our house. So I have found the trick with leftovers, as far as the kids go, is to finagle it into some other kind of meal, and then it's shiny and new, and they don't know the difference. So, anywho, that is the plan for now. And then tomorrow, hopefully I'll be feeling much better. My boss texted me this morning to let me know that there was a bunch of cancellations for tomorrow, so I'm off tomorrow as well, and Monday. So going back to work on Tuesday is going to suck butt. But I did put a post up on my community tab and on Twitter, and I'm going to say it here now. I will be live streaming on Monday. I believe that is the 13th. This coming Monday. At 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So if you can join, fabulous. If not, it's all right. Something flying around in here. Awesome. And I did put a post up on my Patreon the other day. Yep, I'm running the light. Sorry, guys. Sorry, not sorry. Oh, are you broken down here? What is happening? You might want to get out of the road, bro. Yeah, you lost your exhaust pipe. Sure did. Right in the middle of the drive-thru. That's gotta suck. You know what? Yesterday we saw a lot of that. We were driving around just outside of town, and when we were coming back on the highway, there was like all the big rigs trying to get onto the bridge, right? Go into the States. And there was a big rig that had stalled. And so the trucks were going into the car lane to try and get around him, and we're all going like we couldn't see what was happening. It's like, what? Like, you guys aren't supposed to go here. And then we realized what was happening. It's like, now we got to wait for all the trucks to, oh, it was such a shit show. And then coming off the highway, there was a car that stalled on the off-ramp turning left, which is where we needed to be, and I was sitting in the back. So again, I never know what's going on. And so when I looked over my boss's shoulder, I was like, oh, the four ways are on. Like, buddy stalled. Like, we need to go around him. So we had to, yeah. It was happening everywhere yesterday. It was nuts. Yesterday was just nuts trying to get around. And then on top of that, there's construction everywhere. Yes, can I get an extra large double, please?
Anything else?
That'll be all. Thank you. That guy always sounds so impressed. He's so funny. I don't want to be here. But what you want to do is get my coffee. Yes, you do. Listen, my first, maybe my second full-time job out of high school was working in a coffee shop, and I did it for like maybe 2.5 years. And outside of waitressing, it was the most stressful job I have ever had in my life. And I think a lot of that had to do with the place I was working at and the boss that I had, like the owner that I had. He was a real piece of work. He had me running my own till. There was 2 tills and 2 of us that worked each till during the day, right? From like 7 to, I think our shift was 7 to 4. And, which is fine, okay. But then he also had me in charge of the debit machine. When we got a debit machine in there, he had me in charge of the damn thing. So if there was any issue with it, for some friggin' reason, they called me. But it's not like I did maintenance on it. But I had to phone the maintenance guy. Like, dude, I don't own this place. I'm not even a manager. What the hell's wrong with you? And I was the only one with a key to the register. So if there was fuckery with the register, I was the one getting the phone call. Again, not manager, not owner. Why? On top of that, I was also like a bouncer in this place. Hang on. Hi. Debit, please. Yes. Oops, sorry. Thank you. I love you. Have a good day. Right. And now I can't make my proper turn because this guy is stalled. This guy, it's like a great big van. And it looks like his muffler has literally fallen halfway off. In the parking lot here. It's awesome. The fuck are you doing? That truck had his fucking 4-ways on, and then as I go to make my turn, decides, oh no, we ride right into the yellow car. God damn it. Anyhow, yeah, this guy had me basically being like a bouncer in this coffee shop. It was ridiculous. This place was right across the street from the Catholic high school in the town where I grew up, okay? And it had a segregated smoking section, so it was completely cut off closed off from the rest of the coffee shop. Yeah. So, and that is where basically where all the high school kids went and hung out, right? So he would have me go in and tell these kids, like, if they weren't ordering, they had to leave, right? Which I always kind of thought was stupid. Like, they're not going to be there long. They're there on their little break, their little lunch hour or whatever it was, 45 minutes. And that's it. Like, is it really worth the headache? No. Are you the one that has to go deal with a bunch of obnoxious teenagers? No. But he figured, I think his thinking was because I was not much older than them. I had literally been out of high school for like less than a year. That they would listen to me. No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works at all. And I tried explaining this to him, and I was like, listen, as somebody who is not far much older than these people, I'm here to tell you, I would not listen to me. I would not listen to me at all. You are still somebody who thinks you have power over me, who thinks you can tell me what I can and cannot do. Therefore, I am not listening to you just on that basis alone. Like, I'm telling you. The arguments I used to get into with these kids. Well, these kids would argue with me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, I just work here. I'm telling you what my boss told me. Do with that what you will. But I'm here to tell you, if you don't leave, he's going to be a douche and, like, call the police. Okay. And make a big deal out of it. Like, is it a big deal? No, not really. But he will make a big deal out of it. Okay. And we had, 2 designated officers that patrolled our area, okay? And mainly at night, but they were sort of our on-call people, right? And so if he had a huge issue, and it was supposed to be reserved for huge issues, he would phone and the police would come and deal, right? So yeah, it was just the most stressful, frustrating freaking job I'd ever had in my life. I hated it oh so much. But whatever. I had to pay my room and board at home. So, after school, a bitch did not live at home for free. Okay? Jesus. Yeah, it was horrible. Waitressing sucked too. Listen, if you're going to work in that industry, restaurant, bar, whatever, bartend. I never had any issues with any customers while I bartended. I had plenty issues with the servers. Namely, get the fuck out of my till. Yeah. But other than that, bartending was a great job. Actually, so was short order cooking. The best job I had, I was short order. I ran the short order cook. I ran the kitchen and the bar. And short order cooking, the waitresses never touched my till. But when I bartended, those bitches had their hands in my till all the goddamn time. And it pissed me off because I was responsible for both tills. So if they came up short, I had to explain why. A bitch was in my till. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Go deal with her. I got to the point where I would, like, shut the door on their hands. Get out of my till. Get out of my till. Get out of my till. Oh, so annoying. Other than that, it was a great job. But yeah. Here, let's put the window down a little bit. It's kind of stuffy in here today. It's like 12 degrees or something outside, but it's stuffy and muggy in the car. Okay, we can turn the car off now. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Jobs out of school, man. The worst experience I had was serving at a takeout place in a mall just outside my town. And the owners, there was 3 men that owned the place. And 2 of them were Russian. The other guy, not sure what his background was, but he was super funny. He was just compared to the two Russian dudes, he was just a tiny little thing. But he was funny as hell, and I loved him. He was awesome. He was kind of hard to understand. He had an accent. He was kind of hard to understand. I'm not sure what his background was. I'm not going to insult him by guessing. I have no idea. But the other two were most definitely Russian. And the smaller of the two Russian dudes, he again was awesome. I loved him. He was fantastic. He was funny, but he was no bullshit. Like, you know, I respected him. The other guy was a raging douchebag who thought he could treat everybody who worked there like garbage. Like, the way he treated the kitchen staff there was unbelievable. And they were all immigrants of sorts and just took it. I could not believe the amount of verbal abuse that these men took from this guy. It was absolutely unfathomable to me. I used to get there like a good hour before my shift because I had to take a bus or two, I can't remember, to get there. I think it was two. I could be wrong. It was definitely one, and it was a long bus ride. But I would get there about an hour before my shift, and I would help the kitchen staff set up for the day, which was not my job. But I know I had worked in the food industry sort of part-time before, and I knew damn right well, get in with the kitchen staff, okay? Because I was serving food. I mean, I wasn't serving in the restaurant, I was serving in the takeout area, but I was serving nonetheless. So I knew to get in good with the kitchen staff. I would get listen. When I put in an order, my order was done, okay? Quick haste. I took care of the kitchen staff took care of me. That's how that works. They were fantastic guys and funny, and they worked mad hard, and they put up with a lot of abuse. It was insane. If I knew then what I knew now, I would have reported this man, but live and learn. But and I didn't work there for very long. I had a task given to me by this douchebag. Me and my manager had to go through every single menu in this restaurant, not just the ones that take out, the entire restaurant. This place did mad business, okay? Even though I got food poisoning there once, but that's fine. Can't prove it. Even though it's the only place I ate that day. But anyway, yeah, we had to go through boxes and boxes and boxes of menus and strike out certain things, right? They literally just gave us a magic marker and said, this is what you're striking out, right? All of them. And he wanted them all done by the end of the day, and we had to do our takeout service. Like, and it's like there was 3 of us, I'm pretty sure, that were working that window. So why me and my manager were the only 2 that were out? Like, I mean, come on now. Why it wasn't divvied up among the servers while they were on break or something? Like, I mean, come on. It's a big fucking job. So we did it fine, and the guy came back, and I guess he was going through them and found some that we had missed. And the shitstorm that he raised, he came into our little takeout area, dragged me and my manager out onto the floor of the restaurant, okay? Didn't even take us somewhere private or out in the mall, like the middle of the fucking restaurant, and started screaming at us, right? And I'm kind of taken aback, right? Like, I mean, I'm, what, 17, 18 years old? Like, hello. This guy had to have been like 6'3" and like 300 pounds. The guy was massive and muscle. I mean, okay. I'm barely 6'3". I'm 6'3". I'm barely 5'3", okay? And back then, I probably would have been about 120 pounds. And my manager is just sort of standing there nodding and yes, sir, I'm very sorry, sir, I'm sorry, sir, we'll do better next time, sir, we'll fix it right away, sir, like, yeah, like just right. And I mean, it's not like he's just yelling like you missed a thing, blah blah blah. It was, you missed this thing, you stupid, useless. Like, I mean, he called me everything but a white woman. It was, I was blown away. And as soon as I wrapped my mind around it, I went from taken aback to utter friggin' rage. Listen, I am a German-Irish girl, okay? I will fuck you up. What you're not going to do is talk to me like that. I don't care who you are. I don't care how big you are. I do not care how loud you are. Chances are I am louder, okay? And I lost my loving mind on this man. I got up as close to him as I could, to the point where I was literally standing on his toes. And still, I only came up to about his belly button. Like, I mean, it was just insane how big this man was. But I got as up into his face as I could, and I started screaming back at him. I don't know who you think you are, but you are not in Russia right now, my friend. You are in Canada. And in Canada, we have labor laws. And you will not speak to me this way, ever. I don't care who you are. I do not need this job that bad. You have good day, sir. And I went downstairs and I punched out my card and I fucking left just as the dinner rush was starting. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I am done. And both the other two managers, who I absolutely adored, were begging me to stay. And I said, listen, I'm sorry. But no. My mother doesn't speak to me that way. My father doesn't speak to me that way. Not today, Satan. No, no, sir. No, sir. And there is no apologizing. And it's not for you to apologize. You know, I apologize to you for what I'm about to do to you. However, if that is the kind of person that you're going to do business with, I'm out. Peace. The next time I see you, I'll be picking up my last check, and you can mail me my tax thingy in the mail. Have a good day, sir. Like, no fucking way. And I laughed. I didn't call home. I remember my boyfriend at the time came to pick me up after work, and they were all like, we don't know where Jen went. She just left. She was a little upset. But nobody told him what happened. They just said that I left and they didn't know where I went. So I got home fuming. Went and took a shower. Came downstairs and grabbed a beer. Sat down at the kitchen table. And my mom was already sitting there. She was leaning up against the counter and she cracked open herself a beer and she threw me a cigarette. She's like, go. I fucking went off. In between that, my boyfriend shows up at the house. Where the fuck were you? And my mom just sort of looked at him and I looked at him and he turned around and he left. I was like, don't do it. Don't do it. Nope. It's like, he called me later that night and asked me very politely what was up. So I told him about what happened. He's like, I'm so sorry. He said, I went to pick you up and nobody knew where you were and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, the last thing on my mind was to call you Sweet Pea. Sorry. Like, he never picked me up from work. I always took the bus to and from work. Like, it's not like we had plans for him to pick me up or anything. He just decided, you know, he'd be sweet or whatever and pick me up from work on the day that I happened to quit. So do with that as you will. Oh yeah, that was horrible. Horrible. But my mom high-fived me and said, whatever, you know, take some time, find another job. That's when I started working at the coffee shop. No, I lie. That was after the coffee shop. I quit the coffee shop too. Because my boss was creepy. Yeah, that was an eye-opening summer, man. That was crazy. I think my next job after that was where I was doing the snack bar, and then I ended up running the snack bar and the bar. That was a good time. That was a good time. My boss was a douche, but the job itself was awesome. I'm a night owl, so that job worked out perfectly. I would go and do the cooking and, you know, sling beer and make the occasional mixed drink, and it's fairly simple. I didn't even have a smart serve. I was like, I remember saying to them when they asked me if I would be willing to do the bar, I was like, well, like, I don't have a smart serve, so. And they're like, yeah, no, it's fine. I was like, well, okay. You betcha. I was barely 18. When did I start working there? I started working there. Yeah, I was just 18. I'm pretty sure that was the summer I turned 18. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, no smart serve, just here, go for it. I was like, okay. She's like, yeah, there's a bartender's Bible under the thing, you know, just, you know. I was like, okay. Okie dokie. It was a lot of fun, though. We'd finish up like around 1 a.m., clean everything up, you know, do your till, do your inventory, whatever the fuck, and jammed down to the local pub real quick, and just in time for last call. There'd usually be about like a handful of us, and we'd all order like 2 beers each and get a couple of beers in. It was awesome. Get home around 3 a.m. Go to bed. Get up around 1 or 2 and start the day all over again. It was a good time. But anyways, I'm gonna boot. We're almost half an hour in. But my last vlog was kind of shitty and kind of sucked. I'm really sorry about that. There was just all kinds of muckery that day, and it was just not meant to be. It was just not meant to be. So, hopefully this makes up for it. We can put this down as a story time rant situation. But I gotta get going. I gotta start thinking about getting supper together and stuff. So for anybody watching, thank you. I appreciate you. Remember, live stream on Monday, 1 o'clock EST. Hope to see you there. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk later.